Okay, I'm looking at Gravekeepers today because, as you all know, the new set, Absolute Power Force, has a few new Gravekeepers coming out and Gravekeeper supports. And I want to know, how do Gravekeepers run? I know Gravekeepers came out a while ago. They were the first archetype to actually come out. Came out back then in Pharaonic Guardian. And Gravekeepers was played a little, I'm not sure. I've had friends that played Gravekeepers. They say it was pretty good. They say the deck was great, but I want to know how they run because I don't know how this deck runs. They're all spellcasters and they're all darks. So basically, you use spellcaster cards like Village, which I wouldn't recommend Village. You would rather play Necro Valley because Necro Valley is the key card for Gravekeepers. And also, you could play Gravekeepers with Magical Dimension and also Magician's Circle to swarm out faster. And I want to know, what do you guys think about the new Gravekeepers? How will they play with the old Gravekeepers? And do you think this deck will be competitive with other decks? And in this format, you think they'll be able to compete? I think this deck has a lot of potential. This deck could probably be one of the top decks just because of Necro Valley and how Necro Valley locks down the graveyard. But I don't really like decks that depend on field spells because field spells could be destroyed so easily. So you're probably gonna have to throw something in there like Field Barrier or something else, just to hold that card. But yeah, other decks that rely on one spell card, they run pretty good. So I see why not this deck. I think this deck will run pretty good too, especially with Spy. Spy could swarm out Gravekeepers very well. Gravekeeper's guard keeps control of your opponent's field, return any monster. Spirit Holder is just like a Bora. You could pierce through their defense, and with Necro Valley's boost, it'll be a 2000 beater, so that's pretty good. Cannon Holder is like a Dark Strike fighter. You just tribute any monster that has Gravekeepers in his name, and you can inflict 700 points of damage. I think that's pretty good. Curse, you inflict, I think that's 500. Yeah, 500 points of damage for every time it's summoned. Special summon, normal summon, flip summon, anything. Assailant. Assailant can switch the battle position of any monster when it declares an attack while Necro Valley is on the field, which is pretty badass. The only downfall is it has to be a face-up monster, so you can't hit it down. You can't hit a face down and switch position. If you could, that'd be awesome. And Chief unlocks your graveyard. Chief, it unlocks your graveyard from Necro Valley, so it doesn't lock, so you don't lock yourself, and you get a swarm out. You get a special summon of Gravekeepers from your a Gravekeeper monster from your graveyard, so that's pretty cool. And Watcher is pretty cool. I think he should be cited because he's just against decks that you know discard. So I would definitely side him in against Brionic because has to Brionic has to discard. So when he discards Brionic, you just discard Watcher instead, and Brionic's effect is canceled. And yeah, and Command it, just discard him, and you'll get Necro Valley right to your hand. So I think that's pretty good. And Necro Valley is the beast, is the shitty, the best card in this deck, because basically you lock the whole graveyard, and you can't target anything from the graveyard. Your opponent can't remove cards from the graveyard, so that kills their Nizukis, that kills their Necrogarnas, that kills basically everything that targets the graveyard and all that stuff. And which is also cool, something else cool is also boosts your Gravekeepers by 500 attack points, which is a pretty big boost, seeing that Gravekeepers are pretty weak. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Gravekeepers. Let me know what you think about the new cards, and if you think they'll be playable in this format, and if they'll be good. Because I personally think they have potential, and I'm going to play them. And yeah, let me know. And anybody got some Gravekeepers they want to trade me? Um, Mainly, I'm only looking for spies. Anybody got some spies? I want some. That's basically all the Gravekeepers I need. Or Necro Valleys. I'm looking for some super Necro Valleys. That's about it. Or some Chiefs, some Super Chiefs right here. This guy, Super Chiefs. I'm looking for that. But other than that, I really don't need anything else. So don't offer me any of these comments. I only want Spies, Chiefs, and Necker Valleys. So, you know, hit me up. And also, the cards you see here, they're not for trade. I'm going to actually throw these in my new Gravekeepers deck, try that out for a bit, see how it goes. And I'll be posting on my Gravekeepers deck when I have it done. And I'll be posting up some duels with me playing with it. So, you know, rate, subscribe, and the more you subscribe, the more videos I'll put out. So, thanks, and thank you for watching.